already 5 minutes from the time of the webinar. I would like you to start the session. I'll just do the screen sharing quickly.
Okay, friends, happy evening, everybody. So, today is a very important day for all of us. Very important. See, because 50 years back, normally if you see a girl going to a school, which is like, it was not very easy. You cannot see a girl going to school or a female child, going to a college or going to work. These are all like, it doesn't happen so easily because women used to be inside the home. That is why, that is how India was like for us. But now, women empowerment, a very beautiful word, where girls are going to schools, colleges, and everywhere to workplace. And today is a day where there is something which there's nothing by something which women cannot achieve. Women, they've achieved in every every areas. Okay, so everything has been achieved. But the biggest challenge what the ladies face everywhere, right from school, nowadays we are seeing in papers, even a 1-year-old girl child, has been harassed, sexually abused or sexually harassed, or it goes up to even a 50-year-old lady or 50 year or 60 or whatever. There's no age restrictions. It is becoming a problem. So, but the major drawback what we have today is like, communication. We do not know how to communicate when normally if you see the biggest threat for women on sexual harassment is it is not men, it is the women herself, because they don't bring it outside. See, that is what I would say, because normally they don't bring out all these things. They try to hide because it is the society. See, once when see, in my experience I'm telling, when some girl comes and complains to her father, mother, or when she goes and complains to the husband or something, the own society ask her the next question. Okay, hey, come on, what was your mistake? They try to put the buck only on the girl. They don't look what is the mistake on the boy side, whatever that fellow has done. Or it's because you looked at him, or he would have did this to you. They try to, so the girls feel they're insecure. So lack of communication. Always, communication plays a vital role. We always say communication plays a vital role in everything. But when it comes to Posh, it definitely plays a very vital role, I would say. Because I'll tell you a very small incident. This happened in US. Once, it was the president of US. He was actually, he was the president of US. I don't want to mention the name. So what happened is during a weekend, he wanted to go to a Camp David. It is a place where normally these people, Americans, they prefer to go during weekends. He was just going along with his driver. See, as some time passed by, the president asked the driver, why don't you stop the car? The driver surprisingly asked, what is the reason, sir? I want to drive the car, he said, because I, being the first person of this country, everybody are giving me too much of importance. But I love driving, so please give me the car. I'll drive. You sit behind the vehicle, he said. Naturally, the driver, he was in a position not to say no, because it's the president was the one who's asking him for a very simple request. So immediately the president he started driving the car. The president was very excited, and he was continuously driving the car in 60, 70, 80, 120, 150. He was going in a very, in a mad speed because he was excited. Because in US, once when you violate the speed, traffic violations are not, acceptable, whomever may be. Suddenly, a police sergeant blocked the vehicle, and he asked, the police sergeant suddenly saw inside the car, and he was surprised. Immediately, what happened is the sergeant made a call to the commissioner of police, and he said, "Sir, there is a big problem. Now I have to, book a case against a person, but that person seems to be a VVIP. I cannot book the case." Immediately, the commissioner said, "Whomever may be, you have to book it. Who's it? Is it the mayor of the city? No. Or is it the governor of the Senate? No. Or is it the vice president? Yes. No. Or who else? Is it the president?" Then the sergeant said, "He's not even the president, sir. He's still a bigger person." Now the commissioner went back by surprise. "Is it bigger than the president? Who's that person?" "I do not know, because the president is driving the car and this person is sitting behind." So what I'm trying to say is, either the driver, the chauffeur should have communicated that the president wanted to drive the car, or the president himself should have said that I wanted to drive the. Both of them, they kept quiet, and that is where the communication lacks. So this is the problem with us also, because most of us, we do not go and communicate. Okay, even if I communicate, what is the step we are going to take? Nobody wants to take a step, but we here at the first step, we always want to take the first step, and we want to train you, or we want to give you a knowledge transfer. What are the steps to be taken? So how do we take the first step? Through a good communicator. The good communicator is nothing but our mentor, Ms. Ashode, because this person, she has been for the past 15 years who has done a literature, English literature, and who has conducted so many trainings. She has trained almost 5,000 individuals, and especially when it comes to Posh, a very good communicator, and she has communicated so many messages. And me and Yashodai together, we both have handled so many cases and all these things, and we have brought so much of solutions. So let me just welcome you all to the First Step Institute, on behalf of all my team members and behalf of my mentor. So welcome all of you. So over to you, madam. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Kishore. Yes, I'm happy that we have totally 33 people on board today, along with our 15 trainers. So, First Step Institute is very proud to do a first of its kind webinar wherein we have 15 trainers coming together to speak on the topic POSH. So, what is POSH? POSH stands for Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace. And when was it formed? It was formed in 2013. Yes, I'm going to give you few facts about POSH that will help you to understand more about this law. Okay, so this POSH was mainly formed to create a redressal committee that will look after all the cases related to harassment and related issues. It is applicable to all the organizations, be it government, non-government, semi-government, public sectors, or private units. Okay, and irrespective of the domain, it can be hospitality industry, it can be IT industry, it can be hospitals, or it can be schools, colleges, any institution that has more than 10 employees, irrespective of gender, has to have POSH committee for sure. So is it enough only if you have the committee in place? No. There has to be a proper training and the awareness given to all the employees and students in that organization so that they know how to prevent themselves or protect themselves in case of any issues that they are facing in their life. Okay, and we have a wide definition of what is a workplace. It's not mandatory that a person has to get affected only inside their organization. It can be anywhere else where he or she visits in the purview of his or her work. Okay, so in all such places we will have POSH coming into picture. And as we have already said, irrespective of the gender, POSH has to be in place because you might have you may say that we have only 10 employees in our company and all are men. Okay, but there would be at least one woman who is coming to your office to sweep the floor, or at least there would be one woman whom you are calling and contacting, who is your client or who is your vendor. Okay, and this can happen vice versa also, where there are all women in the office, and they still have some electrician or some plumber or some layman who walks into the office for some query. Okay, and there are chances that even during such issues, even during such cases, issues might happen. So, for the protection of our own employees within the premises and outside the premises, it is mandatory to have POSH. Having said that, okay, uh, this POSH has emerged in 2013 as a result of various cases that has been very prevalent in India. And one of the most important case, which all of us know very well, is Nirbhaya's case. Yes, I want all the people to type in chat. Okay, how many of you are aware of Nirbhaya's case? If you are aware of the case, please type out in the chat box.
Okay. Yeah. So the key message there, I think that for us.
I just request everybody to be in mute mode. Great. Okay, Lalita has raised her hand. Yes, Lalita, you can unmute yourself and go on. Do you have something important to share with all of us? Okay, fine. Okay, great. I'm happy to see lots of yes from the participants. Great. So moving on. Okay. So what are the various things we do in First Step Institute? Okay. So we form an internal committee that is organization. Okay, and this internal committee must be active and it must be displayed to all the employees. Employee awareness program must be conducted 4 times a year for all the employees. Okay, and there should be a gender neutral policy because POSH supports only women, only harassment against women. But if in case there is some harassment against men, then for that also POSH will support to form a policy which will be headed by the HR and other committee members. Okay. Next is POSH annual report. If we have few HRs in this room, they'll surely agree that submitting this report is very mandatory thing. Uh, can I quickly have in chat if there is any HR and who is having POSH in their premises and does, sorry, there was some noise. Okay, great. So if there is some HR in this room who already handles POSH in their organization and who knows how to submit annual report, you can just type in chat, I know. Do we have any such participants here? Okay, wonderful. I'm not able to see any such response. Great. So finally, it is the right ICC members in the right place. Okay. So only if you can have a right ICC member in the right place, okay, the entire purpose of having the committee and creating awareness will be solved. Otherwise, if you have wrong people in the committee, definitely they will be corrupt and all the cases can go wrong and there won't be any justice again. So this is where all of us play a major role. We have lots of NLP practitioners here, and we see to it that before forming a committee, we gauge their mental attitude, and we also have an assessment with which we analyze uh, that if they are capable to be a part of ICC or not. These are few things that are mandatory to be done in any organization when a POSH committee is being formed. And even trainers who are going to get trained from us in POSH, they are well aware of all these steps and we handhold them at any point if they are stuck. Okay, now this is going to be very interesting part. We have to know how everybody can get associated with us. After this, we'll move on to hear from various trainers on what they feel about various topics of POSH. Okay, so if you're a trainer, you can get POSH certified from us and register yourself as an empaneled resource of Ministry of WCD. If you are in HR or working in company, you can help us to get connected with your company to train your employees and form POSH committee over there. If you are in any school or colleges, even there we require POSH, so you can give us that connect. Or if you are in a big society, then you can always help us with connecting with your society as well, because even there we'll have lots of parents and lots of we'll have lots of parents and lots of working people who does want to know about POSH. And we also train POXO, that is prevention of child sexual offense. So all the people who are parents, they'll want to know how their kids can be safeguarded. So these are the various ways how you can be associated with us. Now moving on to our trainers, and the first person will be Mahmooda, who is going to talk on why victims don't complain. Okay, there can be various reasons how a person can be victimized, but after being victimized, why doesn't she come out and speak on her behalf? So we'll have Mahmooda speak for this. Mahmooda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah. So 1 out of every 5 women, they undergo this sexual harassment every day. As Yashode said, why are they not coming forward to complain? So there are 3 main reasons that contribute to this. The first reason is reporting sexual harassment is a bit challenging for the victims since they have to face a lot of issues. The second one is peer pressure. In order to gain social acceptance among their peer, they do unwanted sexual activities. The third reason that contributes to it is usage of drugs and alcohol, which makes them lose their senses when they are unaware about what their actions are. So, educating people on POSH law is becoming mandatory, as Yashodai told. So, it is better to get educated on this in order to make a better tomorrow for women. Thank you.
Great, Mahmuda. Thank you very much. Okay, give me a moment. I'm just muting all the participants over here. Okay, I have muted all the participants. Whoever want to speak can unmute themselves and then speak. And even the speakers whom I'm going to call out can unmute themselves and speak. Great. So thank you, Mahmuda, for that wonderful insight. We will move on to Miss Meenu, who will be speaking on how people are affected by harassment in school.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So we are talking about POSH, very sensitive issue, and in schools, we generally feel that school is a very safe place because the maximum staff is female of POSH. But I tell you that there it can happen in schools as well and other institutions and colleges as well, where teachers really need a safe work environment. I will share with you one of the case where one of the student, he was trying something on net during his lab period, and the attendant of the lab, after the class was over, he called the teacher, and some porn movie was on the system. And to her amaze, she says, she asked, what is it? So he was very, he winked and he said, ma'am, look at the boys, what he did during the lab time. Na? So I always keep watch on them. So what do you say? Look, ma'am, look what's happening on the screen. So the lady was so much ashamed and embarrassed, how to react. So and she could sense, the ladies have sixth sense. She could sense that something is not just right. So school is also a place where the women teachers, they really need safe working environment, free of such kind of harassment from male staff. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Meenu, for sharing a live case from Delhi. Next, we have Subhashri, who is going to speak on how students are affected as interns. So, in fact, the college students who go on internship, even they can be affected, and POSH comes to their rescue. So, Subhashri is going to speak on that.
So, as all of us know, internships are now becoming part of the course, and they make students really excited for the exposure that they get from internships. So there was this girl I knew who was as excited as any student would be because it was her first day of internship. She goes to the company, meets the manager, and asks the manager about the learning experience, and he rest assures that she'll have a great learning experience in the company. Immediately, the manager says that she will have to wear a sari the next day on account of Founders Day celebrations. As every other student or an intern would do, she wore a sari the next day. The manager, while walking into the cabin, sees her and says, "Hey, beautiful, you look hot today," and asks her to come to his cabin. This girl, very sweet girl, does not know how to react, and she feels really, really uncomfortable. So how do you think we can help such interns and make them feel they're not easy targets for sexual harassment for places where they go for interning? Thank you.
Thank you, Subhashri, for sharing that incident. If you are okay, can we tell the name of the person who was an intern?
That was me.
Yes. So Subhashri faced this issue herself, and that is the reason she wanted to be a POSH trainer to enable people like her to face this situation boldly and spread the awareness of POSH. I really appreciate Subhashri for all her good intention, and you are in the right place here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Next, we'll have Vijay Bachu from Hyderabad IITD, who will be speaking on how people are affected by harassment in IT industry. Vijay? Vijay, you are not audible.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me relate to you all about an incident that happened in 2004. And at this point of time, as all of you know, that the POSH Act was not there. However, because this was an MNC, they had somebody known as the LCA, who was the legal counsel attorney, who was supposed to be there in the organization at all given points of time. Now, this employee, who was a lady employee, was carrying at that point of time, and her manager used to make her work only in the night shifts over repeated periods of time, in spite of a request by her that she should be allocated the morning hours. He did not pay any attention to her request, and the complaint went to the HR and from the HR to the LCA. However, the manager was let off with a stern warning, whereas the lady employee, out of frustration, had to quit the organization. So I would all of you want you to just take a moment and think, what would the situation be in today's context when POSH is applicable? Thank you so much. And over to you, Yashoda.
Great. Thank you very much, Vijay. As Vijay had told, I request all the participants to just think on various sharings that are happening now. Okay. So if you were in the place of a judge, or if you were a person who had to give some judgment to the case that's being shared, what will be your opinion on the same? So you can either share in the chat box, or you can note down these cases, because we'll be discussing the same in the separate breakout room after every trainer share their opinion. Okay, great, Vijay. Even I had been working as a pregnant lady in an IT industry, but thankfully I had very lovely managers who gave me just 3 days work a week, and gave me 2 days off. 2 days work from home. So that was a very thoughtful reaction from my managers, and I'm very happy that I didn't face any such grave issue over there. So now, next we have Shaila, and she's from Pune. She's going to speak on how people are affected by harassment in BPO sector. Yes, Shaila.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, how are people affected in BPO sectors? The question is, some people ask, is it even possible? Because there are so many youngsters and it is all hip and happening. But let me take you back to the year 2007, right? What happened was, there was this new joining girl, good looking, pretty girl. And she was the one who had feelings for her manager, and she went and approached the manager and said, spoke of her feelings. And she went to the extent of blackmailing him, saying that if you do not reciprocate, I am going to make sure that you are blacklisted and you never find a job in the industry ever again. So give this also a thought, whether are only women affected at the workplace, or is it the men folk also who are affected, and what can we do towards it? So food for thought, let's think, let's get into the breakout rooms and then discuss more, right? So thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Shaila. So all this time we have just been hearing that women are being harassed and POSH supports only women. But then here is a case that is totally opposite to what we have discussed so far. Okay, so we have more interesting things coming forward. Let's go on to it. Thanks, Shaila, for the chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry. Yes, now we have Rashmi from IITD Hyderabad again. She's going to speak on how people are affected in banking sector. We think banking sectors are very safe with minimum employees and there cannot be any issues, right? But then Rashmi is here to tell, yes, there can be issues in banking sectors as well. Rashmi, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Yashoda. Good evening, everyone. So having worked in the banking sector for almost 13 years, I did come across a few cases, especially right in front of my eyes. I was a part of front office, branch banking. And in branch banking, you would know that customers come in daily. Some of the bearers come in for daily transactions, cash, NEFT, and something or the other they want to check with the front staff. So there was a new joinee, fresh recruit, and there has to be a limit. I mean, there has to be a threshold, a table across which the customer or the bearer sits. But when they ask a query, they come right across the table to the new joinee and they ask her, oh, let me see your computer and where my transaction has gone wrong. And on the pretext of seeing the computer, they try to touch the new stuff inappropriately. So this does happen. I've seen it happening in front of my eyes, and it needs to be stopped. And basically, the ladies, they need to be aware of what is happening. It's just not they're doing their duty, but they need to put a stop to it by raising their voice and taking it up with their managers. Thank you.
Thanks, Rashmi, for sharing your case and also sharing the solution to it. You might feel that what has happened. I mean, the person just touched the employee, right? But then it's not a simple touch. Okay, even a simple touch can be a great sense of harassment and a great sense of disturbance to a female. So thank you, Rashmi, for that share. Let's move on. Yes, we have Nafisa from Hyderabad again, from IITD2. She's going to speak on how people are harassed in pharma industry. Go on, Nafisa.
Yeah, thank you, Yashoda, ma'am. So she was a young, beautiful, new joinee. She just completed her MSc in pharma chemistry and joined that big renowned organization. And within couple of months, her reporting head started harassing her in the other way. Now, how? What type of harassment? He was loading her with more and more work so that she need to stay back and work along with him, spend some more time with him. Apart from that, he was also searching for some or the other reason and opportunities to touch her, which is not appropriate way. I mean, a normal handshake is okay, but she was not comfortable with those type of inappropriate touching. And apart from that, the third thing that he was doing was really absurd one. He was praising and appreciating her without any reason. I mean, it was something really that she can't make out why he is praising, why he is appreciating. She has not done any big thing to get the appreciations from him. So all those things made her like, what is going on? She was completely confused. She was a good learner. She was enthusiastic towards her work. She had the zeal to learn more. She was a hardworking lady. But then what? Unfortunately, she had to quit her job. There was no option. She was not able to tolerate such thing. And then she moved on to another job. I mean, to another company, and there she flourished. I mean, she was doing good over there. But do you think this will be the end of harassment? She was not aware of POSH actually at that time. So what we need to do next? What is the next level? Give it a thought. We'll get back to that.
Yeah, thank you, Nafisa.
Welcome.
As you really pointed out, it was not the end of harassment because such people will prevail in all the other places as well. And if right action is not taken at the right time, definitely even the harasser will feel like, okay, we have done something great by doing what we have done, and our act is something that is welcomed by everybody. So nothing happened to us. Just that girl had resigned and went off. So maybe she would have felt guilty, or she would have felt something bad from her end. But what I did was completely right. This would have been the mentality of people, and definitely POSH plays a major role here. Thank you, Nafisa, for bringing that on. Yes. Next, we'll have Zora speak on how freelance trainers can be affected. I know we have lots of freelancing trainers over here. So Zora will speak on how freelancing trainers can be affected. Zora, go on.
Hi. Since we know that freelancing and corporate training goes hand in hand, and many corporate trainers prefer freelancing. I myself is a corporate trainer and I do a lot of freelancing. So I'll tell you a very good incident. I basically deal with multinational organizations, all MNCs. So there's this very good organization, quite known organization, my regular client. I have been dealing with them for quite some time. However, I stopped dealing with them because I was not aware of POSH. It just so happened that I was with the L&D department head of India, and we were discussing over a few issues of how the training should happen. And all of a sudden, he started singing. It didn't happen once. It didn't happen twice. It has happened so many times. And it made me feel so uncomfortable, and definitely I would not want to put my self-respect at a stake and work for that organization. So I quit. So that is one of the prime reasons for me to join Posh, because it gives me the empowerment that now I know exactly if someone like this does to me, I will not leave the organization. I will ensure that he leaves the organization.
Great, Zara, great. So that is the great amount of confidence that we have from people who have undertook the Posh training, and they can in turn empower lots of people like us. So thank you, Zora. Yes, I have heard lots of freelance trainers tell this to me, that they were, I mean, not exactly sexually harassed, but then they have faced such verbal harassment,
Right.
or even like people will just stare at them because the kind of outfit that they have to wear during training, they have to be in very formal attire. So when they go for level 3 and level 4 attire, definitely people see to look at them as if they have come from some other world, and definitely it gives an awkward sense of feeling to all the people out there, and the trainer herself. So yes, thanks Zora for sharing that. Now moving on to Pamni, she'll be talking on how personal coaches are affected by harassment. She's a nutritionist who works on one-to-one coaching with many people. Pamni, are you with us?
I don't think so.
Okay, no issues. So I'll share the experience that Pamni had to go through. She is a nutritionist who has to work on individual basis with people from various ranges. So it can be men, women, or youngsters, or even some people in the middle age or senior age people. Maybe some people would come to her just to inquire what the course is, and the looks that they pass, or the comments that they pass, or the intention that they have towards inquiring the course. Okay, and by the means of inquiring the nutrition, they'll all speak on, it would be sexually colored talk, which is more focused on various sexual comments. Okay, since Pani is not there, I'll not be able to brief it more, but then uh, really all the personal coaches, they do get affected when they deal one to one, and just in terms, in the name of inquiring also, people come and stalk at various coaches. It does happen. Okay, moving on. We have Sanchita with us. She's a doctor, and she speaks in lots of webinars, and she's also a famous radio personality who gives lots of talk. So, Sanchita, can we have you speak on how home can be an extended workplace and what are the issues related to it?
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, Sanchita, go ahead.
Thank you, Yashodhari, for inviting me to this unique initiative of yours. I'm here because of Yashodhari only. She has been my trainer and mentor, and she gave me a new perspective on Posh. I definitely knew about Posh, but the kind of things that she told and trained me gave me another level of confidence. In COVID-19 pandemic, it has changed the way we work across the globe. We can confidently say that work from home is a new emerging workplace, as work from home has a strong impact on the way we work. It's worth having a closer look at the ramification with respect to Posh Act. I'll tell you a small story, and then I'll tell you some of the rules that has been listed for Posh under work from home. There was a young girl in Bangalore. Her boss, during this time only, he gave her a call and said, for one-to-one video call, he said, I can't see you properly, come closer to the camera. Next day, he he again wanted some extra light to be focused on her, and the way he was looking at her and the way he was texting her at around 10:15 p.m., it actually made her very uncomfortable. And she replied that she was going to sleep, and she switched off the phone but could not do anything. The only reason was this Bangalore-based firm was laying off people because of coronavirus was hurting their business, and she did not work to wanted to lose her job. According to the POSH rules that has been laid for work from home, personal comments on a person's social media handle, inappropriate emojis and messages, stalking on virtual environment, threatening about performance rating, insisting on a video call, and within it's not within the working time but after office hours. Then inappropriate or sexist jokes to lighten the mood, not maintaining the dress code during video conferences and call, undefined work hours. All these are actually few rules that has been listed for POSH under work from home. So that's it.
Yeah,
So
thank you very much, Sanchita, for giving such a great brief on how working from home can also be a great pressure for all the women out there. So moving on, we'll have Anju. Okay, she is from Madurai and she is one of the communication trainers, and she'll speak on how people are affected by harassment over online.
Yeah, thank you, Yashoda. Am I audible?
Yes, Anju, go ahead.
So being a part of the training industry and counseling people, both young and adults, for about 10 years, I have come across various case studies where both men and women getting harassed physically, verbally, and emotionally. But now everything has changed online. So now our harassment also started online. So one such incident happened few weeks before when in Kerala, where a man abused verbally a woman and some of her friends. And it was very bad. So though it was not completely related to her job, it surely offended her and her friends. So what happened was she and her friends went to his house and beat him up. So that now they are undergoing legal procedures. So as Dr. Sanchita also said, online bullying happens in other social media platforms like WhatsApp also. In those cases, the person sending the messages is liable to under the Sexual Harassment Act. So whatever be it, I believe that POSH definitely has a say in these cases of online bullying. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Anju, for this live case from Kerala. Next, we'll have Kishore, and he'll speak a different perspective. Again, something that was spoken by Zora, but then here we'll hear from a man directly how men are being affected by harassment. Kishore?
Okay, thank you. Good evening, friends, and thank you, Shaila. Thank you very much, because everyone was speaking about how women are getting harassed, but normally even men also equally get harassed. That's very, very important, and Shaila bought it. Because recently, I don't know how many of you have seen in WhatsApp, one lady, she was threatening almost 4 men. Saying that, I'm going to file a complaint that you all sexually harassed me. But finally, when we got through it, the reason is, she did not pay the EMI. And when the bankers, when they went to, collect the money, she literally threatened them saying that you're going to get, harassed and all these things. And the worst part is, if you see the men were the one person, the banker was literally ready to touch the feet of the women. So what I'm trying to say is, please also educate the, your participants that POSH should not become like, a tool or something for them to, misuse it. It should be like a weapon. A weapon is something we should use it only when there's a requirement. POSH should always be like a weapon. That's very important. Not that just because, if my superiors say something that, I should use POSH and I should not corner him. It should not be like this. Because men get, they get blocked literally. I'm talking about a very normal person. Normally, when you see, when men, they get blocked once when a lady start throwing these types of allegations, and the person can be also genuine. The man can also be genuine. But what happens is he get blocked and he may not come out with a proper communication. Why I'm telling this, as always, miscommunications plays a vital role. This is something which happened in, again, US. Okay, please bear with me for some more time. That is something which happened in US. One person, a speaker, a very eminent speaker, his name is Emmanuel. He was being called to address so many women, on a Women's Day function. So this person, once when he started, once when he was in the podium, he first thing he said is, I spent half of my life with another man's wife, he said. Suddenly the crowd was surprised. What is this? Suddenly everyone was quiet. Then next thing he said is, it was none other, it was Mrs. Anderson, he said. He also said the name. Again, the crowd was surprised. Oh, this fellow said this also, and he's telling the name of the lady. And third thing he said is, even Mr. Anderson knew this, that I was spending my time with his wife in the bed. Then one participant couldn't control it. They asked it, Mr. Anderson did not stop you. He said no, because Mr. Anderson was my father and Mrs. Anderson was my mother. I was spending half of my life with my mother. So that is what I was trying to explain you all, he said. So seeing all this thing, one person, one man, he wanted to go and impress his wife. Immediately the crowd was, the crowd started laughing. And this fellow, he went to his home during night time and he said to his wife, I spent half of my life with another man's wife. The wife was so irritated, she gave him one slap. And immediately he said, hey, no, please wait, I didn't complete it. Who was that lady the wife was? By fear, he said, it is Mrs. Anderson's wife. So now the wife was really irritated and she started slapping more. And third question is, something, even Mr. Anderson knew it. That's it. Next day he was inside the ICU ward. So what I'm trying to say is, please understand, when men are getting cornered, please give them more time. And you please advise your participants not to use posh as something. It should be used as a weapon. Thank you very much. Over to you, Yashodai.
Thanks a lot, Kishore, for that wonderful, humorous sharing with all of us. This definitely lightens the room here. Moving on to the next. Okay, I don't think Syed is in today. He was about to speak on the mindset of harasser. Okay, so to tell about Syed, he is from Bangalore and he has worked with lots of prisoners on analyzing their mindset. Okay, and most of them were harassers. And when he spoke with them, he came to know that many of them have themselves been harassed when they were child. Okay, so something that was not taken care at their childhood itself, it banged on and it bloomed as a very serious issue for the society. So this is one thing that can be the mindset of the harasser. Okay. Now, finally, Kalpana is going to speak on how we can safeguard ourselves from such issues. Do we have Kalpana here? Yeah, I guess.
I'm afraid no.
Okay, even Kalpana is not here. Okay, fine. Then let me just go ahead. How we can safeguard ourselves from such issues? Okay, prevention is the best thing. Prevention is better than cure. Okay, so we need to spread more and more awareness, and that is where all of us play a major role. Once we are aware that we have certain specific rules that can help us save, that can help to save ourselves from such issues, then definitely we'll be more vigilant and more precautious towards such issues in the society. Even if we know somebody else who is undergoing such issues, we will be able to tell them that, see, there's some law called as POSH, which can help you in this grave situation. So that is where we can play a major role if we have awareness on POSH. So now we are quickly going to go to various breakout rooms with all our trainers who are just waiting to discuss few things with you on how sexual harassment cases are being handled in your organization. Have you faced any harassment personally? What are the best POSH practices in your organization? And finally, do you want our services? So when I say do you want our services, you can be a trainer who wants to get associated with us, or you can be a company employee or HR who want to have our awareness program in your premises. Okay. So in this means I'm just opening the breakout rooms. I'll stop the share here. So let me just check out if there's somebody still left in the breakout room. Okay. Fine. I hope everybody is back. So we would like to hear from participants about how did they feel about the entire session and what is your takeaway. I know you would have already shared this in the breakout room, but being the host, I would like to hear once again from you. what was your learning in the breakout room as well?
Okay, I'm Asima
Yes,
from
Asima.
Deccan School of Management.
Mhm.
First of all, congrats that you have started something like this on a online platform where we can put up our views, in fact. And I think before entering into the breakout rooms, we were a little about men and women equally being harassed. So that was one point which we normally don't speak about. We always speak about women, and mostly because it is gender bias. So we think women to be much more sensitive and to these issues. Second thing is men were equally being harassed. So that is on the corporate side. I felt in the breakout room there were certain issues which we have never felt in our college. So I think we can check out on those.
Lovely,
So
lovely, Asima. Yes.
yeah, so
Happy to
that's it.
know that this webinar has been an eye opener for you to think on various perspectives from which college students can be impacted and how POSH can be really their lifesaver. Okay, thank you, Asima, for that. Rashmi will surely follow up with you after this session.
Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah, agreed. Can we hear from some other participant? Mr. Vani, sir, Vijay was saying that you would be able to share with us more.
Hello, may I?
Yes, go ahead, Ram Lakshmi.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Actually, I think this webinar, na, really useful. I think everyone should be aware of it.
Lovely,
And
lovely.
I think myself and Shaila, I think we discussed
Yes.
little experiences.
Mhm.
It's really helpful. And I have to thank Mahmouda for this opportunity. And this opportunity gives to meet people like you all.
Lovely,
Yes.
lovely, Ram Lakshmi, lovely. So
Thank
great to
you.
have you in the webinar as well. And I'm sure you would have got lots of inputs on POSH today.
Yes.
So great. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes. Is there any other participant who would love to share their experience? Probably Rekha or Mr.
Usha
Vani.
ma'am or Lalita ma'am, would you like to share?
Yes. We've already, Lalita has shared in the chat. She has just said thank you all. And Saida had messaged privately. Thank you so much for effective session. It was great to hear you. Thank you very much. And okay, is there anybody else who want to share their feedback with us?
Rekha, would you like to come up and speak something? Rekha Arya, unmute and say something.
Tilak sir, would you want to share your perspective?
Hello.
Yes, Rekha.
Hello.
Yes, Rekha.
Go
Yeah,
ahead, Rekha.
speak. Yeah, good.
Yeah, good afternoon to one and all.
Good afternoon.
And yeah, my name is Rekha, and I am working as a sales manager in a Golas networking platform. It's a totally networking site, and it's a great opportunity I got through Nafiza ma'am to attend this webinar. So I got to know many more things which is related to harassment, and it would a great opportunity. Thank you to one and all.
Lovely, lovely, Rekha.
Thank
Great
you,
to know.
Rekha.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great to hear that from you. And surely Nafisa will be in touch with you to see how we can get associated with your company as such.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
yes, yes. Thank you very much, Rekha. So is there anyone else who still wants to share your experience with us? Okay, great. So it was a lovely, lovely session for all of us out here. Now I'll invite Mahmouda to share the closing remarks.
Yeah. Yashodi, can you go in for the contact details? Screen share.
Contact details. Okay.
The slide with contact details.
No, I don't have any
Okay,
contact.
fine. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'll just go ahead.
Yes. Probably I'll put in the chat if anybody wants to contact me. I can put my number. Otherwise, or everybody has the person who has invited them, so they can yes, go ahead and contact the person who has invited.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah. So at the outset, I would like to extend my thanks to First Step Institute and Yashode for having taken this initiative to organize this mega webinar. And I render my thanks to all the trainers for your contribution towards the success of our program. As the adage goes, customer is the key for any business. You, my dear participants, are our kings and queens for the day. I thank all our participants for being with us on a Sunday evening in spite of your commitments. We at First Step Institute are ready to provide our services to you anytime. I once again thank everybody for being with us. Thank you all. Stay safe, stay blessed, keep smiling. Over to you, Yashoda.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mahmooda. Now officially the session is over, but I will unmute everybody and the floor is open for discussion. If you still want to discuss anything with us, we are here.
Yashada, can I leave? I have an